So about a year ago, I made a 3x3 hipster. Had a volume, I think, of 240 blocks or 260 blocks or something. And for the last year, it's been my current smallest, and it was actually one of my lots of version. I guess one of my versions of 3x3 hipster. I believe it was like version 7 or something like that. And now I decided to redo it. We'll make another project. So here it is. Has the button activated. Now, it is really slow, like all the really other tiny ones, because of how those work. It's the same layout. And then the opening. Some lag there. Now we wait for this. And you can also see it's less derpy. So, this one is, 5 by like 4 besides the floor. So yeah, it's 5 by 4 by 12, I believe, or 11, something like that. Just 240 blocks without including the floor. So yeah, this tutorial, so let's do this. So this is the area you need. This is where the redstone's gonna go, and this is where the layout's gonna go. So let's just start. We're just gonna go from left to right with the layout. So we're just gonna get dust, grab my obs. We're gonna have 2 obs like this, and then we're gonna have a line of vortex repeaters that go here. These are for a double extender. And then there will be observers here, 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 and here. That's just how it works. We're also going to place sticky pistons, 3 of them, like this. This is technically our quad extender, but it's just a moved up quad, so instead of like having the normal quad extender like this, you just technically do this and it's the same thing. To do our blocks, we're gonna have normal pistons here, sticky pistons here. Now this will go through a lot of iterations of resetting, so I'm gonna have to do world edit for that. So that's what I'm gonna do now. So let me set this up. Let me just stand up in the center. Fast, thank you. So let me just do. God damn it. Thank you. Okay, so continuing, we're gonna have sticky pistons over here with observers, and then these blocks must be solid. They can be whatever you want. They just have to be solid. So like it can't be glass. Over here, we're gonna do. Let me grab these normal pistons, and we're gonna do something slightly weird. We're gonna have a row of pistons here, which will control this. Why is there just a floating minecart down there? E. We're gonna have pistons here, and we're gonna place vortex back here, and then blocks on top. So, and that will be the entire layout done. So next, let's do the input. So the input is just a block with a button on it. So you're just gonna go one below this piston, so like this, to this observer, and then go all the way across to here. And then this button. Stone button or one button works. You could technically send a vortex pulse into this and it will work. We will now do a 1 of 2 minecarts in the door. This one is slightly difficult, but it's not that difficult. We place any type of trapdoor down here. It can be an iron one, a wooden one. I just prefer it to be a trapdoor. It cannot be a slab. The trapdoor is actually, I think, the only block you could use. Anything that's lower than 0.3 of a block will work. Anything lower than 0.3 of a block will work. I'm just using a trapdoor. It cannot be a flower pot because that's not lower than 0.3. And next what we're going to do is we're going to push that across this way. using this piston. Thank you. And now we're gonna bring piston here, and then a cobweb behind it. And so when we pull this up, you can see it will use the piston head to pull the minecart upwards. So if you see again, it sits on the piston head, and the piston head pushes it upwards into the piston and into the cobweb. The way we fire this is we get glass, or any transparent block. At the time I use glass, I'm just going to use glass. You can use a slab if you like, just any block that's not going to fire the trapdoor, because that would break it. And then I'm just going to use a wooden pressure plate, because that works for me. So when we do this, we can actually see we have the entire closing. Like so. The only thing we're missing now is to power these guys for the second block. So to do that, we're going to have to actually do something over here. And let's... Okay. I just don't memorize this, which is kind of bad. So we're going to have a sticky piston here. The sticky piston, it's an observer on it. We get powered by the pressure plate. And we're going to use this as a falling edge to fire the light blue, which is, yeah. Actually, sorry. This will be used for orange later. But this piston is what will be used for the light blue. So this will be out. And this is actually as fast as it can be, by the way. This, yeah. So that piston there. And let me get the light blue out. And now we're going to have to do some weird stuff. So we're going to go here, place this, 2 Fortic repeaters, put the delay, because we need it. And next we're going to have a sticky piston here, which fires this line, which is the line I was talking about earlier. And that will also grab the next block as well. So if we press the button for the opening, this would be up, by the way, but we're just not going to include that. And this would also be back. So the only thing that we'd be missing is this. Those would push across, there'll be blocks over here. And then we'd fire this input, we fire this one. These guys would grab using those pistons. This one pull back, and then we retract them back down. So we already have a majority of the door just with this. This is pretty much like half the door. And next comes my favorite part. We are going to make a floated minecart that goes towards this piston. Because we need to be able to reach this string, but this piston must be able to grab it. If this is inside this observer, it will hit the piston, but it will not be able to hit the string, and that's what we want. So place this sticky piston here, make sure it's sticky. Don't place a lever back here. You can place it here, 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 or here. Obviously not there, because that's bad. Just do that, and now we can see this is floated. You can't really see it, it's kind of difficult, but to tell if it's floated, you place the piston here, and if it gets pushed up and then falls back down, that means you did it correctly. So if we place this, I'm just going to remove this dust. If we do this, you can see it gets pushed up, because the same reason as this guy, the piston head will move this one up. And that's going to trigger the string. And to prove that, we can just do something like this. And that's what we want. That is actually on... That should be on an orange block. But it doesn't matter. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to go here. We need the delay because we have to wait a little bit before we can do anything else. So we're going to... I have to redo that minecart now. Yay. Thank you. And this. So we have Fortic here, piston, with an observer downwards, observer across into another vortex repeater. And this next part, we need a triple pulse into this dust line here. This will push the blocks back. It will actually push these guys forward and then grab the blocks after, kind of thing. So you'll see that here. Just to speed it up so you don't have to wait forever. You can see right here, there's going to be a triple pulse, like that. And that's what we want. So, yep. And to get that triple pulse, we're going to use we're going to put a slab here. The slab is, see in a second. Let me grab my redstone dust. Then we're going to place an observer here for now, and then place this observer. Just makes it easier to do it now. And have this, make sure this is facing this way towards the button, and this one's facing the opposite direction. This does, updating this will not matter because this points into this observer, which does not matter. And this getting a vortex pulse, which is why these are vortex repeaters, gives 3 pulses into this. If it was 3 tick repeaters, then this would not work and it would only give 2. 3.5 tick also works and gives 3 pulses. But 4 ticks were just easier to fit in. So yeah, this would go into this line, giving the triple pulse, and then we can get the second pulse from the closing over here. So we can try this. So we do have to wait. And we can try this again. And there's the triple pulse, and then eventually this will push across, as you can see there. Next, we are missing the, I guess, kind of the next type triple pulse thingy. So yeah, another triple pulse into this, but we're not going to use this piston. We're going to use this one little slice in here. And you're probably wondering, how are we going to do that? Well, we have this piston here, which is going to go into the stropper hopper. Now this kind of took a little while to figure out because it's quite specific in the timings. I explained it in the last one, in the last 33 Hipster video on how this thing works, but that's pretty much outdated at this point. So there's no point in watching it. You can watch it if you want. I'll leave it in the description. I messed that up. I'm stupid. So this goes here. This would be a note block for later. This would be for the last one of the last pulses. There'll be a comparator here. This dust powering this comparator will not matter because only when there's an item in here, this will never be on, or this dust, so this turning off does not matter. And next we need a note block here, a vortex repeater underneath. This could also be a dropper, I think, but note blocks are better. We place this one. I believe there's another one. Yeah. And this is used for the triple pulse into this line. So we have vortex here and the vortex here. So what happens is this observer line will fire this. As these vortex go across, it will power this dust, but it will power this dust as this comparator turns off. So that's actually 2 pulses because this is still on. And then when the repeaters turn off, that's 3. So it turns on from the observers, second one fires from the repeaters, canceling this one, and then the third one comes from the repeaters turning off. That took a little while to figure out, but it wasn't that bad. And then to continue it, what we're going to do is we have to actually go over here. We need to place an observer here. Actually, I believe I'm doing this wrong. We are not supposed to do that. We are supposed to have a 1-tick repeater here, sorry about that, and then an observer here, and then this block. This will fire this, giving that triple pulse, leaving us in that doesn't really matter, and then this will leave us in the state. And then the last thing we need is to grab everything down. So if you want to test, make sure this is down, and I'm missing an item in here. So put in any item inside of here. I'm just going to use orange because it's cool. And just to speed up the time, I'm just going to do this. But don't do this on the opening. Don't. No, wait a little bit. This was in the wrong state because it never protracted, so I'm just gonna, you can see it does this. You can silence, I believe that observer, that note block is silenced. It is not. So if you want to not hear this note block sound, you can just put a carpet over it, or any block over it. I'm just going to use a carpet because it's easier. And then to get to the last retraction, what we're going to do is we're going to fire this dust and this dust with quite specific timings. So to do that, we're going to be taking an output from this vortex here. We will be needing to remove this one. This also then needs to be a slab, so it doesn't fire this piston, which would actually break the whole door. Quite important. Yep. And then that will go like that. Okay. So we would go like this, up this way, into two vortex repeaters, one here, and that will go into this here. So we're going to make this a hopper. I'm just going to do this so I can get the face downwards. Please, thank you. This will fire this guy, which, remember, goes into this observer down to here, which fires this double extender, which will pull down these guys, like that. But then after sufficient delay, we are going to also fire this, like so. And that should be the whole door. I don't suggest to test it because it might not work. Yeah. So to try it, we do have to wait. I'm just gonna speed it up. Oh, that's not supposed to happen. I realized the problem. Maybe it was just me. When I removed the cobble and I put it back, this would retract and I re-updated it again. So it just, there wasn't an issue, it was just an issue on my part. There you go. So the issue, the door never had any issues, it was just me being stupid and trying to make the door faster. So now what you can do is fill in your floor. I forgot to mention that these blocks also have to be solid, so yeah, you can now fill in your floor with whatever you like, not observers or redstone blocks, because that's stupid. Yep, so we can fill this in. And yeah, that is my new 303 Hipster. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you would like to wire this, I believe you could send a 1-tick pulse into this, like so. Yes, you can send a 1-tick pulse. And also, what's really nice about this is also expandable as well. You can expand this to, I believe, up to, you can expand this up to what looks to be 15. So, yeah. You can send a 1-tick pulse into it. You can really send any pulse link into it other than a 0-tick pulse, because then this would not work. So yeah, If you want to hook up pressure plates for this, that's quite simple. All you need to do is make sure your pressure plates are the pressure plates must be this far from the thing. It can't be here because it will bud this piston, and they can't be here because it's possible to get it over there. For on this side, you could have them like this, but they have to be 1 block away so it doesn't bud this piston, which I don't think would be an issue at all, but just do this. So on both sides, you're just going to have this. And what you're just going to do is when you have the pressure plates, you're just going to do this. You're just going to connect them like this. So, not that hard at all. If you want to make it spam proof, there is a way you could do it. It's just I'm not going to show you. There is a way you could also make it unsuspicious as well. Which, well, not really unsuspicious. But you get the idea. You just press the button, and then the door will never open again unless you reset it. So this gonna definitely need a repeater. So yeah, that's how you can hook it up with pressure plates. Let me just fill this in. So let's say you have your glass wall, don't mind that. Thank you. So yeah, there we go. Closes. Then when we walk through it, and we can go to this side. And you also have to walk off the pressure plates. You can't just stand on them. If you want to just stand on them for the door to close, all you need to do is add a monostable circuit like this. And then all you just gotta do open/close them, just stand on them. Like that. So yeah, that's really it. And one more thing before I finish the video is I'm going to show you how to, if you want to expand the door, so if you want to make it go farther. I'm not going to make it go too far because of the model over here. So if you want to expand this to make it a bigger door, all you need to do is expand the layout pretty much. So you just go, I'm just going to expand it by another 3. So you just do this. If you don't mess it up like I do. That could have been bad. So you just got to expand the layout like this, and you can expand this up to 15. It is possible to make it infinitely expandable, but just not with this layout, I don't think. And also, when you expand this, it will also be in sync, from what I know of. And this is going to break, so what I'm going to do is just place obsidian. No, I did not want to do that. So let me place something transparent instead. Because it's going to spam and stuff. Now you have to place these manually. I'm just using World Edit. Thank you. So yeah, this is what it looks like when it's expanded. Let me just do this. And you can also place the button. And you can see, man, now we have a 6x3 hipster. And in the description I'll have an unlisted video of I guess a 3x30 version And the way you can do that is just build this, but you mirror it on the other side so everything's flipped, and then you just have them right next to each other, so that when you expand it up to 15, the two signal strength ones meet like this. So, yeah. That's how you can do it for 30 size doors. You just have one side to mirror the other. And you can see it is perfectly in sync. And there we go. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I will probably be uploading a lot less eventually in life. So, yeah. Don't worry. I have plans for the future. I'm working on projects. Hope you guys enjoyed and watch the 30 by 15 video. I hope see you next time. Bye bye.